Have you ever, like, been so hungry that you just cave and order takeout?
Oh, yeah.
And then suddenly,
Yeah.
every single item on the menu,
Is that the best thing ever?
like, you're gonna die if you...
Can't even eat it all.
Yes.
Yes.
It's like all sense of, like, reason just flies out the window.
Absolutely.
Makes you realize how much, like, our emotions kind of sneak into even the smallest decisions, right?
It's true.
So now, like, take that feeling and imagine it in the world of, like, financial decisions, investments, big stuff.
Yeah.
That's what we're diving into today with this trading coach from Israel, Yoav Tzor. He's got some really interesting ideas about making, smarter choices, especially when there's a lot on the line.
And I find really interesting about his work is that he goes straight to the core of it all. He says that, like, the biggest challenge for most traders isn't about, knowing enough or having the right skills. It's their own emotions that trip them up.
Okay, so it's our emotions that are messing us up. That kind of makes sense. But what does that actually look like when you're trading? Am I picturing, like, people yelling at their computer screens, making all these crazy phone calls?
Well, I mean, I'm sure that happens sometimes, right?
Right, right.
But Zur, he paints this really vivid picture of, like, what he calls the emotional roller coaster of trading.
Okay.
Like, you get this, like, rush of excitement, when a stock goes up, even if it's just for a second.
Uh-huh.
And then, like, you get this awful feeling in your stomach when a stock you thought was a sure thing takes a dive.
Oh, yeah.
And then there's, of course, like, the whole hot tip phenomenon.
Oh, the hot tips, right. Like when you hear from, like, your neighbor's cousin who knows a guy, and they swear that this random stock is going to make you a millionaire.
Exactly.
Like, overnight.
Exactly. It's like suddenly your brain just, like, shuts off.
Right.
And it's all about FOMO.
Fear of missing out.
Yeah, the fear of missing out.
Mm.
And Sir argues that it's these kinds of emotional reactions that lead to, like, really impulsive decisions,
Oh, yeah.
like selling too soon because you're scared,
Right.
or like holding on to something for too long because you're just so sure it's going to go up.
So you're greedy.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's like your brain is in a battle with itself.
Yes.
And the emotional side, it's like winning, even when, like, deep down, maybe this isn't the right move.
Exactly. And that's where, like, I think Zur's approach is so smart. He doesn't just, like, leave us hanging with all this emotional baggage, right?
Right.
He actually gives us, like, a framework for, dealing with it.
Okay.
And he does that through these 11 questions. He calls it, like, a pre-trade checklist.
Yeah.
But honestly, they apply to way more than just trading.
Oh, interesting. So it's
Yeah.
like having this, like, little voice in your head, like a personal coach, right?
Right.
That steps in and is like, hold on, pump the brakes,
Exactly.
Think about this before you do something potentially risky.
Totally. Yeah.
Okay, I'm intrigued. Let's hear these questions. What's number one?
Okay. So question number 1. He asks, will making this trade actually get me to where I want to be?
Wow. Okay. I
Like-
like that already. Because it's not just about, like, this one trade. It's like you're thinking bigger picture.
Yes.
Exactly.
And that's what's so clever about it,
Uh.
right? It immediately shifts your perspective. You go from just thinking about, this one little thing, maybe making a quick buck,
Right.
to really considering your long-term goals.
So are you driven by, like you said, FOMO, like you just don't want to miss out?
Mm,
Or do you actually have, like, a plan?
exactly. You've got to have a plan.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's like before you even think about clicking buy or sell,
Hmm.
you got to, like, zoom out, look at the map, and figure out where you're actually trying to go.
Yes, exactly. And that's where, like, really understanding yourself comes in. Because it's not enough to just know what you want.
Wait.
You have to know why you want it.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah. And, that actually, like, leads perfectly into his next question,
Okay.
which is, am I doing this trade for the right reasons? Will it actually, like, move me closer to those goals?
Yeah. Right.
So he's not just saying, like, do you have goals? He's really making you think about, like,
yeah, the why.
the why.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like, are your motivations, are they actually,
Are you being honest with yourself?
yeah.
Yeah.
Are you being honest with yourself about, like, what's really driving this decision?
Right. Because it's so easy to, like, make up these stories, right?
Really? Yeah.
In our heads, like, oh, but everyone else is doing it.
Exactly. This is going to be the next big thing.
This time it's going to be different.
Yeah.
This time.
I know. I can feel it.
Exactly. And it's like those voices, they can be really convincing. you
Yeah,
know?
for sure. But this question, I think, it kind of cuts through all of that.
Right.
It forces you to like really articulate why this particular trade
Yeah.
is gonna, get you to where you want to go.
Okay, I'm sensing a theme here with these questions. Like,
Sure.
it's all about really, like, checking in with yourself before you do anything, which is, I think, really smart.
Totally.
Okay, question 3.
All right. Question number 3. What are the potential risks and rewards of making this trade?
Okay, well, that seems pretty obvious. I feel like people probably skip that step a lot, though.
Yeah, for sure. Because it's human nature to like,
Get excited.
yeah, get excited.
Yeah,
Focus on the good stuff.
right. Like, what if this turns into, like, a gazillion dollar?
Exactly. Like, what if I, like, retire early and buy an island?
Yeah.
But, sir, he reminds us that, like, every decision, especially in trading, it has risks.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
And this question, it's like forcing you to actually look at those risks.
Acknowledge them at least, right?
Yeah, acknowledge them.
Before you're, like, jumping in head first.
Totally.
It's about being prepared, I guess, for the fact that things might not go your way, which is not, a fun thing to think about, but it's realistic.
Absolutely. And it's not just, like, intellectually accepting it, but, like, really thinking about how you would handle it.
Yeah, emotionally.
Emotionally.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that's a good point.
Which leads us to,
Oh, here we go.
question number 4.
Yeah.
How will I feel if this trade goes against me? Can I actually handle, like, losing the money?
Ooh. See, no one wants to think about that part, but like you said, it's a reality, especially in trading.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And I don't think this question is about being, like, negative or anything. It's
Yeah.
about being real.
Yeah.
It's about, like, really understanding your risk tolerance.
Yeah. How much you can handle.
Yeah. Yeah. Without it, like, completely, derailing you.
Exactly.
It's like that saying, it's like, it's not about how hard you can hit. It's about how hard you can get hit and get back up again. Ooh, I like that.
Right.
I like that. Yeah, that's good.
Okay, question 5.
Okay. Am I being influenced by others, or am I making this decision based on, like, my own research and, what I've actually looked at?
Oh, that's a big one. Because, yeah, like, letting someone else's opinion, especially when it comes to, like, money and finances.
It's a recipe for disaster.
Yeah, it's not good.
Because, we've all been there, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Like, you see everyone doing
The
something.
herd mentality.
The herd
right?
mentality.
Yeah.
It's like suddenly logic goes out the window.
Yeah, it's like that hot tip all over again.
Exactly.
Yeah. Yeah.
But he's saying, like, just because everyone else is doing something
Right.
doesn't make it right for you.
Right. For you. Yeah.
And this question is really about, like, encouraging you to, to block out the noise.
Be your own person.
Yeah. Focus on, like, what you've actually looked at, your own analysis.
Yeah, what you know.
Exactly.
Be the captain of your own ship.
Love it.
Okay, question 6. Am I letting past wins or losses affect my judgment on this new trade?
Ooh, yeah. The emotional baggage.
Oh, the baggage. It's so real.
It follows us everywhere.
It does.
Right. And it's so easy to get caught in that cycle of, like, oh, I won last time, so I'm going to win again.
I'm on a roll.
Yeah. I'm invincible. Or, like, the opposite. I've lost so many times, like, I'm just bad at this.
Yeah.
But, each trade, each decision, it's a new opportunity.
Totally. So you're saying, like, don't rest on your laurels if you've had a win.
Right.
But don't let, like, past failures completely, like, paralyze you either.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And I think this question is really just a good reminder to, like, try to approach each decision.
With a clear head?
Yes. Have a
Yeah.
clear head, fresh eyes. And maybe, like, a little bit of healthy skepticism about your past performance.
Right, because we're all biased, even if we don't want to admit it. Right.
Totally. We all have biases.
Yeah. Like that saying, the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over and expecting different results.
Ooh, that's a good one.
Right. So learn from the mass, but don't, like, be chained to it.
Yes, exactly. Well said. Which brings us to
Okay, what's next?
question number 7. This one's all about taking control.
Okay.
Do I have an actual plan for this trade? What's my exit strategy?
Oh, that's a good one.
Yeah. Like, it sounds so simple,
It does, but,
but I feel like people don't do that.
I think a lot of people just, like, wing it.
Really?
They're just like, yeah, this sounds good. I'm going to go for it.
Wow.
You know?
Like setting sail without a map, without knowing.
Not a destination.
Yeah, where you're going. Yeah.
not a destination.
Wow.
Exactly. And it, having a plan, whether we're talking about trading or running a marathon or just like getting through our day, right? It's essential.
It's like gives you that roadmap. So it's not just about do I buy or sell. It's like, if I do that, then what? Exactly. Exactly. It's about knowing like what you're going to do
Right.
in different situations.
And like if it goes up, if it goes down, all that. Yeah, okay.
Exactly. Because otherwise you're just like reacting emotionally to whatever happens.
You're not just like riding the waves.
Exactly.
Okay.
Which in trading, usually not a good idea.
Usually not a good idea, yeah. All right. Okay, this is good. This is good. Question number 8.
Okay, number 8. Am I being realistic about this trade? Are my expectations actually like based on facts and analysis? Or am I letting hope and greed, influence my decision?
Ooh, yeah. Hope and greed, the two enemies.
The two little gremlins.
They're sneaky.
They really are. They're sneaky and they get in there and they can really like mess with your head.
Right, for sure.
But he's saying like wishful thinking, it has no place
Right.
when you're trying to make, smart decisions.
Okay, so no more daydreaming about yachts and early retirement then.
Well, I mean, it's good to have dreams,
Right.
aspirations.
Of course.
Yeah.
But I think when it comes to, money decisions, you got to ground those aspirations in like reality.
Yeah.
So, be honest with yourself about what's actually possible.
So it's about like separating your emotions from the facts.
Exactly.
As much as you can.
Yeah. And speaking of facts, question 9
Okay.
gets at that.
Okay.
It asks, am I actually staying informed about the market and, whatever it is I'm trying to trade? Am I up to date on any news or events that might, change things?
Yeah. That's a good point. I feel like, especially these days, we're just like bombarded with information all the time.
Constantly.
It's hard to know what's real, what's not.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
And it's so easy to like get caught up in,
Yeah, like the hype.
the fear,
Right, exactly.
all of it. And he's saying like, you need to be proactive about getting information.
Right, and making sure it's like good information from like reliable sources.
Yeah.
Not just like,
Yeah.
not just like your friend's Facebook post.
Exactly. Not financial advice from a random tweet you saw.
Exactly.
Okay.
Be informed, not influenced.
I like that.
Right.
Okay, that's good.
Okay.
2 more.
2 more.
Okay.
This one, I think, is really relevant, in our like always on go, go, go world.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
It asks, am I even in the right headspace to be making this trade? Am I calm? Am I focused? Is this a rational decision?
I mean, I know I've made some questionable choices.
Oh, yeah.
When I'm tired, when I'm stressed,
Oh, 100%.
when I'm hungry.
Yes. We've all been there.
Right.
But this question is like a good reminder that like our emotional state, it affects everything.
Everything.
It really does.
Yeah.
So you talk about self-awareness,
Hmm.
but it's not just about like what you're thinking,
Yeah, it's like how you're feeling in your body too, right?
Exactly. It's like recognizing when you're just not in the right headspace.
Yeah. To be
Yeah.
like making those big decisions.
Exactly. Yeah.
So if you're feeling frazzled, maybe you step away from the computer.
Yeah. Go for a walk, grab a snack.
Exactly. Sometimes the best trade is no trade, right?
Ooh, that's good. I like that.
Sometimes you just gotta like walk away.
Yeah, step away. Okay, last question. Bring it home for us.
All right, question 11. Am I prepared to accept responsibility for whatever happens? Like, win or lose?
Ooh, okay, that's powerful.
It's about ownership,
Yeah.
It's so easy to blame outside things like, oh, the market did this or, this happened.
It's not my fault.
Right. This person told me to do this. But ultimately, you're the one who makes the decision, right?
You click the button.
Click the button.
Yeah.
So this question is just like a reminder that, you got to own the consequences.
You're in the driver's seat.
Exactly.
Good or bad.
Good or bad.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. It's funny. When I think about these 11 questions, they seem like, really specific to trading.
But there's so much in there that applies to, like, life in general.
Oh, absolutely. It's like he snuck in like a whole lesson on emotional intelligence.
Right.
Disguised as trading advice.
Exactly.
Which, let's be honest, we could all use a little more of that. Right? Seriously.
I'm already thinking about, like, how I can use these questions in my own life. Like, those moments where you're like, should I not?
Totally. It's like having this new tool, right?
Yeah.
To help you make those tough decisions.
Yeah, it's like he's saying, hey, you're in charge here. Are you going to let your emotions run the show? Or are you going to, like, make smart choices that actually get you where you want to go?
Yes,
Yeah.
exactly. And I think the key is like, it's one thing to just hear the questions,
Right.
but you have to actually ask them
Be honest with yourselves.
and be honest.
Yeah.
Like, really be honest with yourself.
Yeah.
Because I think that's where the magic happens.
Yeah, totally. It's about, like, building that self-awareness muscle, right? So
Yeah.
you can, like, step back from all the emotions and make a good choice.
Exactly. And sometimes, just asking yourself one of those questions
Right.
at the right time can completely change everything.
Totally. So as we wrap up our deep dive here on taming those inner traders, which, let's be real, we all have one.
We all have that little voice.
We all have that voice in our head. But I'm curious, was there, like, one question that you were like, ooh, that one really speaks to me?
Yeah, like which one really resonated
Yeah.
and, maybe got you thinking, I need to, like, keep that one in my back pocket.
Yes. So, listeners, here's a little challenge for you. Pick one question, just one, from the deserves list,
Mm-hmm.
and see if you can apply it to a decision you're facing today.
Ooh, I like it.
It can be big or small, it doesn't matter. And just see what happens. You might be
Yeah,
surprised.
you might surprise yourself.
Until next time, happy trading, and more importantly, happy living.
Yuri.